SwoleBenji here. So, it's another ganking video. If that's not your thing, then see you later. Anyway, I'm gonna just talk about Albion Online and the alliance that we have and a whole bunch of other stuff. I don't really know. I have absolutely no idea. So let's start with just talking about Albion. So I've been resubscribed to the game for about 6 days now, and I'm bored out of my mind. I am absolutely bored with the game, okay? In like 2 days, I maxed out Permafrost Prism, which is later in this video, if you want to hang out until you see me gank with that. In the video footage that I used, it's not maxed out, it's only like level 85, and I have nothing in the other frost stabs at all, but I did the math, and it's like maxing out all the other frost stabs that only give me like 65 more average damage. It's really not too much. Maybe like 200 more DPS, which I don't need, because you just need to dismount them and then they're dead. Like, that's all there is to it when you use it for ganking, you know? Like, I don't really care about Crystal League PvP or anything, but the game is tremendously boring because I've pretty much maxed out fame in every weapon that I ever want to use. Like, there's no reason to ever bother maxing out, like, double-aged staff, or double-bladed staff, you know, stuff like that. Maces are getting nerfed, and, you know, you can just buy a cheap tier 8 set with no spec and overcharge it, and you're good to smash. I mean, there's just, it's not a lot going on, honestly. I don't know. I'm bored to tears. I have nothing to do, and I know what you're saying. You're like, well, what the heck? You have like 30,000 subscribers, you have a Discord full of people, you have literally an alliance with over 2,000 members. What's going on with that? Well, for starters, in the Discord, every time I ask, hey, who wants to do group dungeons, you know, and there's a lot of newbies with almost no spec or anything really useful that are down to play for like maybe 30 minutes or something, and that's fine, it's whatever, but there's really not a lot of, there's like barely anyone that's maximum spec and actually could make doing group dungeons with a group worthwhile over just doing them solo. So, you know, if I decide to just dick around with a bunch of newbies and help them get their spec up, then, you know, that's fine, it's something to do, but at the same time, none of them really speak English as their primary language, I guess. So it's kind of lonesome, really. Like, I'm trying to talk to them, you know, using, you know, certain lingo, and they don't really understand me, or they start talking to each other in their language and their lingo, and I don't understand. So either I'm third-wheeling them, or they're third-wheeling me, and it's just not fun for either of us, right? Then there's the Alliance. The Alliance is filled with people that haven't logged in over 2 weeks. Like, as far as I'm concerned, you know, those 2,000 members, like 1/30 of that is actually active, and they're mostly newbies, and again, that's fine, that's whatever. There's a lot of spies from other guilds and alliances already in there, which we don't do anything in the black or red zones anyway, so it's kind of pointless. I don't really see the point. Plenty of spies in the Discord as well. The Discord is completely inactive. Like, it's just people asking the same newbie questions over and over and over and stuff. You know, a lot of people don't even understand current events or what's even going on in the real world. They don't even visit more interesting websites. It's just upsetting. It's really lonesome is what I'm trying to get at. And, I don't know. I don't know if it's me or the game, right? I would like to blame Albion, you know, but maybe I just gotta play something else, because there's really nothing to do except what you're seeing on screen. This is the only fun thing in the entire game. The only reason I even started to play Albion was so I could do this. This exact thing right here, just downing people in like a, you know, not a high-level super elite PvP, high-stakes zone or nothing. Just fighting players, that's it. That's really it. That's all I've wanted to do. And here I am doing it. Woohoo, right? And I've actually sat on this track for a very long time, almost a week, and I haven't figured out what to dub over it with. So I'm just talking to you now because I need to get this off my hard drive. I need to get this out into YouTube so I can maybe film something else, maybe something useful, something funny, something fun. I don't know, but like, I can't start a new video until I finish this one. That's why I'm just talking randomly to you guys. I'm not my usual manic self where I can just babble on about crazy nonsense and entertains you. This is just straight up me talking about the game. Like, here's the thing, like, I have subscription active right now, that way I can double up and get the Gallant Horse, and I can get the Ghost Boar for the price of one subscription, but I've already maxed out the fame that I wanted to max out, which was, like I said, the permafrost prism. I don't have anything else to max out, really. Yeah, I could work on something else, but there's nothing fun or meta or interesting or unique that I could use it for. Like, here's the permafrost prism. Pretty good stuff. It's good for dismounting players and taking them out. But anyway, like, I'm just already out of stuff to do. Yeah, I could grind out faction points for what? What? Some fame tome chests? I don't know, man. Like, I'm just... Like, the whole grind is pretty much done for me. I can log in every day, get passive income, buy whatever I want in the game. I can PvP anywhere with whoever I want. Yeah, I can do high stakes if I want to, but I don't find it fun. I don't find it interesting. I don't like the fact that if someone brings a friend, I'm automatically at a huge disadvantage. Not cool. And because it's a high stakes, you know, type of gameplay, what's the freaking point, right? Like, the only winning move is just simply not play. I don't understand. But another thing that's also kind of upsetting, at least from my perspective, is that when I put a lot of work into videos to show data and to show how you can efficiently do something, and then newbies that can't replicate that kind of success immediately claim that another avenue of, like, farming is better, with when there's clear mathematical evidence that it's not, and then they just sit there and harp on it. It's... you guys have heard it a million times on this channel. I'm talking about solo dungeons, you know, yellow zone, red zone, black zone, and I'm talking about corrupted dungeons, right? So the fact that I can clear a solo dungeon floor as fast as like 45 seconds, and on average 1 minute and 45 seconds, and get several loot chests, you know, make tons of fame, and all with zero risk, versus doing a corrupted dungeon that, when invaded, minimum, if invaded and clearing all the bosses and getting all the chests per corrupted dungeon, is a 10-minute ordeal. Alright, so that's 4 chests, and my win rate in Corrupted is like, what, 35 to 40%, okay? So that means every single time that you know, it's basically a coin flip, but at my disadvantage, right? And you know, people are fine saying that Corrupteds earn them more money. Yeah, if you did one Corrupted dungeon and you won using a PvP meta build, great. You did profit, and you did make more than doing one solo Yellow Zone dungeon. Sure, absolutely. But the time it takes you to clear that corrupted dungeon in a Stalker corrupted, I'm not talking about Slayer. I always preface it by saying Slayer is absolutely better for fame and gear, you know, because there's no IP cap. Absolutely no IP cap, right? Guess what also doesn't have an IP cap? Yellow Zones. Yellow Zones actually used to have an IP cap, so that you couldn't just fame farm in Yellow Zones with 8.3 max spec, right? But I guess whenever new devs took over or something happened, I don't know why they made the decision to remove the IP cap in Yellows, but that's why I do it, alright? But when you're using a PvP meta build, like, you're not clearing that dungeon as fast as you could clear it with light crossbow or, you know, a high-level battle axe. You're absolutely not clearing it super fast at all. I mean, the fastest I can clear a corrupted dungeon is anywhere from like 4 minutes and 30 seconds, on average, to about 5 minutes and 40 seconds, on average, okay? Like, I can't get any faster clears than that, and that's without an invasion. And of course, using a speed clearing build, like I said, in Stalker Corrupteds, I don't have any data for Slayer, but in Stalker Corrupteds, you know, the ones that actually matter, right? You're just not going to be able to clear it any faster than that. I've tried every single gear combination, and, you know, without potion spamming or any kind of, you know, really good lucky spawns like that, or skipping chests, absolutely not. Killing every boss, looting every chest, not getting invaded, it's gonna take you about 5 minutes, okay? But whenever you compare that to Yellow Zone dungeons, you know, what happens is people will do like 30 minutes or maybe 1 hour, if I'm even lucky, of Yellow Zone dungeons, and then, you know, they don't hit any jackpots, or they're clearing slowly, or they're clearing inefficiently, or they're taking lots of breaks, and they actually end up only clearing like 4 or 5 dungeons, you know, in that whole hour. And then they complain they don't get any loot. But if you spend, you know, just a couple days doing Yellow Zone dungeons, you're going to see those jackpots, and you're going to see, like, why the hell are you losing gear sets, having to re-gear, having to rebuy, you're losing silver, you're losing your valuable time. I know a lot of people are probably young that play this, and they don't realize that their time is the most valuable resource in the entire world. Like, every single rich person would trade their money to have more time. Everyone would trade time, or trade anything to have more time, right? But you don't realize that when you're younger. It's just, whatever, oh, I'll be older someday, your time becomes very valuable, right? Like, because there's a million other things that you probably should be doing or could be doing with that time, rather than playing Albion. Oh, and that guy was doing a transport, by the way, so good for me, yay. That's one thing I like about faction flagging, is a lot of people think that I'm just bullying people in the yellow zone, but these are faction fights. I'm faction flag. I'm not just red flag beating up, randos, right? I'm attacking Limhurst and Marlock, and I haven't made a video on this because it's insanely profitable, but since you've made it this far into the video, I'm gonna let you guys, you loyal watchers, know a little secret. This is extremely profitable, alright? It's not the most profitable thing ever, but if you go solo faction flag ganking, you make a ton of faction points with no risk other than a repair bill, but if you're an 8.3, you almost never encounter another 8.3. And you usually have this mutual agreement that you don't attack each other anyway because it's a waste of time, unless you just have the counter build to theirs. And even then, in full 8.3, you can run across the whole damn zone and survive anyway. But let me tell you, there was one night, I don't know how the scoring system works, but there was one night where I downed 4 players. They were all fishing bots. And, every so often you get the Defense of the Land bonus points for actively participating. And I got 16,000 faction points for downing 4 players, right? I could spend a whole afternoon in the red zone capping outposts with Zergs. I can cap outposts in the yellow zone with Zergs, and I'll never get 16,000 defense points. Not even once. Like, not even close to that amount. But I downed 4 players, and I got 16,000 defense points. But, like another night, I downed like 2 players, and I only got 4,000. So I don't know what the system is. And I've looked over my footage, and I've looked at their ranks, I've looked at their gear quality, how highly ranked they are in their own faction, and I couldn't come up with any reasonable explanation as to why some nights I get tons of defense points, faction points, that is, and on other nights when I'm out, ganking, I barely get as much, but it's always still more than blobbing up and capping outposts. Like, I don't even really bother capping outposts unless I'm feeling lazy at the time, right? Like, if I want to finish my faction daily, even without a subscription, like, active, I mean, in this footage I have premium active right now, but even without premium active, I can gank, like, 5 or 6 reds, and boom, 5,000 faction points after, like, the defense thing upgrades. Like, I've been timing how much faction points I earn on average in a 30-minute time frame. Like, I arrive, like, at the, like, I flag up in Bridgewatch and I go as close to Limhurst as possible, and I eat a food. And in that 30 minutes, I've earned anywhere from, like, 30 to 50,000 faction points at a time, right? And then at the end of the week, I get about 1/5 of the total points that I earned that week. So, while a lot of people are like, oh, you're bullying the yellow zone, blah, 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 I am not only, I'm ranking up in the faction thing, I'm also getting tons of profit, because, you can take those faction points and buy hearts, you can buy chests with fame tomes. I got, like, 400-something fame tomes of 10,000 fame each. That's millions, right? And this guy was cornered, I just autoed him down. But that's essentially the video, guys. I mean, I don't know what to talk about. I don't know what I was really, what the goal was. But yeah, I'm SwoleBenji. Thanks for watching. As always, be a bro and stay swole. Don't click off yet. The video ain't over. You're about to miss a really juicy, this guy. Oh man, he's got a triple. He's transporting right now, and he's about to lose his hearts. Make sure that you leave a like and a comment, okay? That's a super cheat code for the algorithm. If you do both, it really helps out. And subscribe. 80% of you aren't subscribed for some reason, so click subscribe right now. Look at this guy. Boom. Give me those hearts. That's easy 200k, right? Easy 200k silver. And then here's another faction transport. He's in the cluster queue. He can't leave, so I'm just going to go up and yoink his stuff. It's just free money. Anyway, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribed, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, lads.